Hey guys, so for today, you are going to be looking at now the difference in digestion between an herbivore and a carnivore. So, a lion and an elephant. You already looked at what these macromolecules do, you looked at how dension, how their digestive systems differ, all of these different things. So, like lions, they are going to need protein for biomass, but then they use lipids for energy. Whereas elephants use proteins for biomass, but carbohydrates for energy. So, we are going to be looking at the differences of these molecules now on a more detailed scale. So, what you are going to do in this lab is a little bit of cutting and pasting and all of these different things. So, for this first lion digestion part, in a group of four, each student will have one of the four proteins found in the beef the lion has eaten. So, everybody is going to get one of these. So it looks like this. So protein number 1, protein number 2, number 3, or protein number 4. And you are going to tell me how many breaks are made in this molecule when it is digested. So remember, every time we break a carbon to carbon bond, we are going to release energy in the form of calories that we can use to do things. So if you notice, each of these proteins are in little separate boxes. So here's your hint. To break a bond, you would cut right here. So this would be one break, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So protein number 1 has 15 cuts that need to be made in order for this protein to be fully digested. And if you notice, each of these proteins have different shapes. And that is how proteins are in our bodies. In a later unit this year, we'll be looking more at those protein shapes. But this is your intro to those different protein shapes. So in your group, you are going to cut apart all of those different proteins. So, and fill this out in your protein strand. How many cuts did you make between your amino acids? Then, what you are going to do with your group is once you have all your little cut up squares, you are going to lay them all out in front of you, and each person in your group of 4 is going to put together a protein that this lion now needs. So, this lion is going to need protein to build muscle. They're going to need to build collagen. So, collagen is what makes your skin actually stick to your muscles. As you get older, your collagen breaks down. And that's why people get saggy when they get older. They are going to make proteins for fur and proteins for cell transport. So, of all those things that you cut up, you digested, you are now going to tape all of these together in a line. So, for example, if I'm doing my protein for muscle, I need to find the proteins in my pile that I just cut apart that say LYS, LYS, SER, and I'm going to tape them together in a single line. So, if we look down at these again, we can see these little abbreviations on there. And with your group, you are going to go through and fill out all of the information on this next page. For the second part, for the elephant digestion, you are going to look at these data tables and record the number of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen in each of these amino acids that the elephant eats. Okay. You are going to write down this stuff here, and you are going to be using this picture to help you out. So remember, elephants eat plants. Plants are made of something called cellulose, which is a carbohydrate that is very, very tough. But because elephants have a cecum, they can actually break down that carbohydrate. So, for example, between step 2 and step 3, how many breaks did we make? We made 1. So we have 1 break right here. Between step 3 and step 4, how many different breaks and how many cuts did we make? Well, we made 1 cut here and 1 cut here. And I am not going to make you count all of the cuts that we made to get from these shapes to all of these individual molecules. That is counted for you in the lab under the elephant section. So you are then going to fill out the elephant section using everything in front of you. The last part of what you are doing is you are looking at this picture of the nitrogen cycle. So the nitrogen cycle is really, really stinking cool, and all plants need nitrogen in order to build protein. However, nitrogen that is like just in the ecosystem is broken. We need it to be what we call fixed. So the really cool thing here is it says lightning breaks N2, which is nitrogen, so that it reacts with oxygen to form nitrates. That is actually a form of nitrogen that plants can absorb through their roots. And when this elephant here, we see him pooping, that poop, he's going to make ammonia. Ammonia cannot actually be absorbed by plants to get their nitrogen. So in the soil, there is little free living bacteria. We see that little guy here. It breaks down that nitrogen into nitrates, just like the lightning did, into a form that the plant can use. So I want you guys to use this picture here to try to answer the questions down below. Okay, so have fun with this lab, and I hope this all makes sense.